ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. There is a phrase that we repeat at the Seder of Pesach. It is in every generation. Bechol dor vador. It's a paragraph that says what? That in every generation somebody tries to destroy the Jewish people. It is a sad story. It began in Egypt. Jacob and his children went to Egypt, but after some time, the Egyptians enslaved us. And they made things so difficult that many of our ancestors perished. But eventually they went out of Egypt. But it didn't finish with Egypt. Finally, when we came to the land of Israel and we built the Beit HaMikdash, came the Assyrians, then came the Babylonians. They first destroyed the first temple, then came the Romans. They destroyed the second temple, persecuted us. Bechol dor vador. In every generation they tried to destroy us. Then came the Crusaders, pillages, violations throughout Europe. Then, of course, were the hordes of Khmelnytsky. And, of course, in our generation, not that long ago, the Nazis tried to do the same thing. In every generation, Bechol dor vador, omdim aleinu lechalotenu. In every generation, they want to destroy us. So what was the state of Israel? The state of Israel was a response, a reply, a solution, a cure for this. You are not going to do that anymore. There's no more Bechol dor vador in every generation. As a matter of fact, you know, those that elaborated and worked in political Zionism at the end of the 19th century, at the beginning of the 20th century, they said, you know what the problem with the Jewish people is? Why they want to destroy us? Nowadays, because we are not like every other nation. What is a nation? What is a people? Those that have a common culture, have the same language. They revived Hebrew. Even though we had our particular manner of expressing ourselves, Yiddish, Ladino, they tried to unify it through Hebrew. We are all going to speak Hebrew. We have, of course, the same religion, religious tradition. We have many things in common, but we're missing one thing. What are we missing? We're missing something under our feet. We don't have our own land. If we'd have our own land, we'd be like everybody else. And this Bechol dor vador, in every generation they're going to try to annihilate us, that is going to stop. So the state of Israel was established for many reasons, as an answer to anti-Semitism, to many things, but to put a stop to this intent of destroying the Jewish people in every generation. So there should be no more crusades trying to annihilate us. No more Hitlers would be able to rise to try to do that. That would be finished forever. Yetziat Mitzrayim, we went out of Egypt, out of slavery, and from this moment on, from May 1948, the establishment of the Jewish state, no more destroying of the Jewish people. However, that unfortunately is not so. It's more than 60 years that the Jewish state was established. And I think it's the only one in the United Nations that has to fight for its independence, for its reason, for its right to exist. What's going on in Syria? What is going on in Lebanon to a certain extent? In many different places of the world, in Iraq, you know, there are confrontations between different factions. It's a power play. Shiites against Sunnites. There are so many different expressions of similar political parties that have the same roots, but yet have different ramifications. Each one wants to be the ruler. Each one wants to have the hegemony of the region. But in the case of Israel, it is something altogether different. They want to destroy the state of Israel. Yet the Jewish people have resilience. I don't know how to define it really. So many people tried to obliterate us in the past. Where are the Romans, those that destroyed the Beit HaMikdash? Where are they today? Are the Italians really the descendants of those Romans? Do they speak Latin in Italy? Are the Greeks of today the heirs of the Greeks of Athens? Are they the same people? So many have gone through history and haven't left. They left some vestige, I'm not saying no, but they're not the same people. The only one that is very stubborn, that has this characteristic of resilience, is the Jewish people. You know, this is in the play Fiddler on the Roof. Tevye says to God, we are the chosen people. God, why don't you choose somebody else for a while? You know, we're tired of being the chosen people. It seems that we are chosen just for obliteration, to do away with us. Our tradition says that Abraham passed through 10 different tests. God put him through different situations. One of them starting out, you know, go out of the home of your parents. And what was a terrible one, of course, is to offer his son as a sacrifice. Terrible test he was put through. Question: didn't God know what Abraham was going to do? Why did I have to put him to test? God knew in advance what his reply is going to be. So one thinks that a test is in order to know what we know. You go to school and you have to answer a test because the teacher wants to know what you know. God doesn't have to put you to a test. He knows beforehand what you're going to reply. But the tests of God are different. The test is for the benefit of the person, the people that is being tested. Because by being tested, you become a stronger human being. With each one of the crusades and the different events, tragic events that happened in the history of the Jewish people, we became stronger. You know, during the Seder of Pesach, many people start the Seder by eating a hard-boiled egg. And somebody has already pointed out, you know, it's a very strange thing. Most of the time you cook meat or you cook something that is raw and becomes softer. When you cook an egg, the more you cook it, the harder it becomes. It seems that we Jewish people are like the egg. The more you torture us, the more you cook us, the stronger we become. Is there a stronger, more efficient armed force in the world than that of the state of Israel? They have demonstrated that with the right equipment, they can be just as valiant. They can do many things that others couldn't do. So where are the Crusaders today? Are they still around? Where are the Romans that destroyed the Beit HaMikdash? Are they still around? Where is the Inquisition today that burnt alive many people that they suspected had deviated from their norms? Where are they today? They are no longer around. So maybe the fact that Bechol Dor Vador, in every generation they try to destroy us, in a sense, makes us stronger. In a sense, it makes us firmer. How many Jews desert Judaism? I remember there was a case in Venezuela where I lived. A Hungarian Jew came to visit his friends. They had been together in Europe, some in concentration camps, and when he came to the synagogue, immediately he was embraced by a number of people. I discovered later that he lived really in the United States, where no one knew he was Jewish in the town that he lived. No one knew that he was Jewish. Strange thing happened. A daughter of his fell in love with a Jewish fellow who came from a very traditional family, and they didn't want their son to marry a non-Jewish girl. So this girl had the option of becoming Jewish, going through conversion. Actually, she needed no conversion because she was born Jewish. Her father was Jewish, her mother was Jewish, but she didn't know it. The father didn't tell her. She went through a process of conversion and became Jewish and married. The father was so traumatized from what happened in the Second World War. Because he said to himself, why was I persecuted? What crime did I commit? Whom did I hurt? Whom did I cheat? What law did I violate for somebody to want to kill me only because I'm Jewish? Well, let me opt. I'll go out. Stop the train. I'll get off. I don't want to be Jewish anymore. But that is the exception to the rule. How many Jews do you know that really opt for leaving Judaism? It isn't so. We are proud of our heritage. And it seems to the contrary. The more they persecute us, the stronger we become in our conviction. There must be something very important that we have that others want to destroy us. Maybe we are a moral conscience of the world. Maybe we tell others there's another way of living. There are stronger families that you can create. You can be more authentic. Maybe that is why. I don't know why. But one thing I'm sure, that no matter how many generations are going to rise and try to destroy us, we are going to be here. And we are going to say to all the Hamans and the Hitlers of history, you are history. You're in the past. We are in the present, and we will be here in the future as well.